it's Joel Travelina here, and welcome back to yet another video. Today something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a full flight video in Xplane 11. I'm here in the ultimate 737-900 in United Colours. We're going to be doing a very short flight from Los Angeles to San Diego. The San Diego approach can be quite interesting and quite challenging at times, so it should be an interesting video. If you want to skip to a certain part of the video, there will be some timestamps in the description. Without further ado, let's get straight on with today's video. So we're going to be departing out of KLAX and doing a short 35-minute flight down to San Diego. It's a pretty simple route, pretty direct route across the coast, and we're going to be landing with a departure out of runway 07 left and an arrival into runway 27. The aircraft's currently in a completely cold and dark state, so let's get everything fired up. Get our ground power on, get all our fuel pumps on, yaw damper on, sorry, can't get that on yet, window heats, get our probes on, get hydraulic pumps on, don't know why it says overheat, get our ILSs aligned, get our battery on, there you go, it's gone now. We're going to APU started, absolutely fantastic. 1, 2, 3. Leave that there. Get our APU bleed on. Your damper should be able to go. Nope, not yet. We'll test these up here. Good. Everything's working absolutely fantastic. iOS is already getting aligned. I think it should be at least. There you go. There we go. iOS is now being aligned. There we go. I think your damper should now be able to come on. There you go. Awesome. But over to our FMC, we've got the flight plan plugged in. We're going to be departing out of KLAX. We'll align our iOS. There we go. And we're going to be we're going to the route page. Our origin is KLAX. We're going over to K-San. Our flight number is United 8761. There we go. We're departing runway 07 left. And there we go. We'll go to the next page. And our first waypoint, and our only waypoint for that matter, is going to be Mike Zulu Bravo. There we go, we'll activate our route. Our departure, going to be runway 07 left. And it's going to be the Laxi 1. And believe it or not, we are going to be doing a direct arrival into localizer for 27. And it's going to be a fully manual approach after we line ourselves up. So technically we're doing a visual approach, not a localizer approach, but we can't program a visual approach, so we'll just program for a localizer approach anyway. Awesome, that's all looking great. We're going to head over to the tablet here. We need to start our flight leg. We should be able to hear our passengers getting on. There we are. Awesome. We will go over to fuel weight imbalance. We're going to have a payload of 19.1 on the payload. So that's like our total weight almost. We're going to have 65.0 on the fuel. There we go. Oh. That's not possible. That's the wrong measurement, but that's fine. We'll shut that door so that the flight attendant isn't so loud. Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, we can now head down here. We can go to the init ref page. We can put in our ground weight. There we go. We're going to have a reserves of 1.1 with a cost index of 63. We're going to be cruising at a very low altitude, flight level 130, because technically I don't know if anybody really, I don't really know if anybody actually does this route, so you have to let me know. But it was a really short route, and San Diego's quite a cool place to go, so I thought we'd do it anyway. There we go, absolutely fantastic. We have a flaps 5 departure, going to make us a V1 of 129, a VR of 131, and a V2 of 143. Perfecto. There we go, we have programmed everything and nicely. We'll just check there's no discontinuities, there is one there, we'll get rid of that. There we have it. Absolutely perfect. We'll head up here. We're going to be cruising at 13,000 feet. And we will, there we go, we'll switch over to APU power now. We don't need the ground power anymore. We'll get our logo lights on. No, not them yet, sorry. And we should be good to go. Awesome, we are good to go. Our route is in there nicely if you zoom out. And in fact, it's not in there just nicely, there's a vector, we need to get rid of you. We get to redo this, then we don't. Okay, that's good. Okay, that hasn't gone in rightly, let me do that again. Weird. It's adding a vector in that I don't want. Okay. It's not the end of the world. At all. Yeah, that's fine. Let me know what I did wrong there if you are familiar with this aircraft. I tend to fly Airbus a bit more, so I wouldn't really know how to do this, so I apologise. That's work though, just like a direct to this waypoint after departure. Awesome, we'll put 143 on our speed selector, which is our VR speed. Sorry, our V2 speed. So 143. And we will put 13,000 on our altitude selector, because that is our cruise altitude. No, we don't need any restraints. There we go. Awesome. We are now good to go. So we'll go plugins, better pushback, and start pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Awesome. Very simple pushback. We'll just push back. We'll push back like this. There we go. That looks just about right. Awesome.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Awesome. There comes our tow. Here the passenger's getting on. As soon as we get the alert that the tug is connecting, we will put the anti-collision lights on, and the passengers will have to sit down. Speaking of that, we will put our seatbelt signs to also emergency exit lights can go on now. There we go. Fantastic. Perfect.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay, so we just got our ready to connect warning. We will now put our anti-collision lights on, and we should hear the welcome announcements going.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Awesome, we have now got the alert that the tow is connected. We can release the parking brake. There we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Awesome. We're going to be starting the left engine first, so we'll switch that over to ground.
United Airlines, thank you for flying with us today. As you're finding your seat, remember to stow your carry-on items either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. We suggest stowing your rollerboard bag in the overhead compartment wheels first. If you need help, ask a flight attendant. I'll be happy to assist. You may use your small lightweight devices such as mobile phones, tablets, and e-riders while we're parked at the gate. Large devices such as laptops.
We'll introduce fuel into this engine.
At that time, they must be stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. This aircraft is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can stay connected on today's flight. You can access united.com free of charge to check flight status and monitor connecting flight information. Our Economy Plus seats feature more space and are reserved for our Mileage Plus Premier members or for customers who have purchased these seats in advance. If you'd like to purchase Economy Plus seating on this flight, please ask a flight attendant for more details. If you're seated in an exit seat...
Awesome, engine number 2 is now successfully started, so we will go ignition in the right now and do the exact same process again.
Flight attendant will be happy to find you another seat. Thank you for your attention and welcome on board.
In just a moment, we'd like to direct your attention to the video screens located throughout the aircraft.
And we will introduce fuel into the engine number 2.
Features, please. Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Welcome aboard.
Bienvenidos a bordo.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for flying United today. We appreciate your attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Please switch all smartphones, tablets, and e-readers to airplane mode, or disable cellular technology for the duration of the flight. For taxi, takeoff, and landing, smaller personal electronic devices must be secured.
Awesome, so we're now ready to switch over to the engine generators. We'll put that over to both. No need for the APU, we'll turn that off. Turn off the APU bleed, and we'll switch on our packs. Put our taxi
Tow is
lights.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
And we'll start our taxi to runway 7 left, which very nicely is just here. We'll set flaps to position 5 and the order brakes to RTO.
Plastic tubing and start the flow of oxygen. Place over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten the straps. The bag may not inflate while oxygen is flowing. Make sure your mask is secure before helping others. Life vest under or near your seat. When directed, pull the tab to remove the pouch. Tear it open, remove and unfold the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the belt around your waist and secure it to the buckle in front. Pull the loose end to tighten. Inflate your...
And I just noticed that I've forgotten to set the correct QNH, so it's 2990 on the QNH today. Do it on both sides, there we go. We're going to go right to the end of the runway to line up for departure.
Located near your seat. If you have any questions, please ask.
And we will put the wing and wheel well lights on. That will indicate that the flight attendants need to sit down for departure. And we'll get ready for departure to line up for the runway.
Have a good flight.
United hangars over there. If something goes wrong, that's probably where we'll end up. And we'll join the runway here. We'll get our landing lights on for departure, and there's no need for the taxi lights anymore. And we are good to go. So yeah, our SID didn't quite work properly, so we're just going to do a direct departure and make a right turn after takeoff, which is perfectly doable. Okay, and we're good to go. So we'll introduce a bit of throttle, and we'll go toga. We need to set our clock first. Don't mind me just forgetting where the clock button is. Oh yep, it's down here. There we go, we'll start our clock and hit toga. Knots. There's V1. We'll rotate. We'll slowly pull back on the yoke. And we are airborne. Positive brake. We've got to gear up. Straight towards LA.
400.
A right turn this way. We'll arm VNAV and arm LNAV.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Keep that turn going. Go back on the climb. Might as well go into autopilot now. We'll lock our gear into the off position. There we go. And we'll turn our auto brakes off. Get the landing lights off now. And we can see that our top of climb is in 11 miles. That was when we'll get to cruise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign is on. Please remain seated. When the captain turns the sign off, you'll be able to move about the cabin. When you are in your seat, please keep your seatbelt fastened in the event of unexpected turbulence. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartment. We ask that you use the lavatories located in your cabin, and please don't stand near the lavatories in the galleys. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. For everyone's safety, please make sure your personal belongings are clear of the aisle. We're pleased to offer personal device entertainment on our United Private Screenings option, sponsored by the United Plus Explorer card, on-demand movies, and the seat back in front of you. If you need to have a headset, we'll be happy to provide one once the captain lets the flight crew get up from our jump seat. After you connect to the United Wi-Fi network, go to unitedwifi.com. You can access united.com and the United app free of charge, where you can check flight status and more. To use other apps and websites, you can purchase an internet access plan. We will be serving a variety of complimentary drinks, wines, craft beer, and other alcoholic beverages for purchase. In United Economy, a variety of snack boxes and refreshments are available to purchase, as well as freshly prepared meals from our bistro on-board menu. You can find more details about the menu in the back of Hemispheres magazine or the Seatback Guide. We accept most major debit and credit cards, including those with a Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express logo, as well as the Mileage Plus Explorer Visa card. We now invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the service on today's flight. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable.
Having made its cruising altitude, we can see it's only 40 miles to descent, so like I said, a very, very short hop. Xplane is not looking, you know, the best right now, but the tab mod definitely helps that I've got downloaded. This is Cloud Art, and I'm using Vivid Sky, and I'm using a water enhancement, but it doesn't seem to be that enhanced right now, but sometimes it is very, very enhanced.
Passenger Escobar, this is in regards to a special meal. Would you please identify yourself to a flight attendant? Passenger Escobar, please.
So as you can see, we are getting very, very close to our descent. That TD stands for top of descent. You can see we're 23 miles away. If we go to our legs page and we look at Repo, which is our last waypoint before the runway, we can see it wants us to be at 2,000 feet. So we'll go up to the altitude selector, and we'll put the altitude selector to 2,000 feet, so that when we get to the descent point, the aircraft will automatically descend down to 2,000, and then I will take manual control of the aircraft and fly us in to runway 27 at San Diego. I don't know if you've noticed, but we haven't switched over to standard barometric pressure on this flight. That is because in the majority of the USA, if not all of it, the transition altitude where you go from your barometric pressure to your standard barometric pressure is 18,000 feet. And this flight is at a cruise level of 13,000 feet, so we're not yet through the transition altitude, so there's no need to go to standard barometric pressure on this flight. Do let me know if you are enjoying this video and if you'd like to see some more like this in the future. I do enjoy making these videos, as I do sim flying most days of my life anyway, so filming it and making a video on it is also very enjoyable. You can see we're just 6 miles away from top of the descent now. So very, very shortly we should see our green point here. TCAS is off because we haven't got any AI traffic on, or we are not flying on VATSIM. If I was to fly on VATSIM, I would turn TCAS on down there. There's our top of descent. That is the point, that green point here on your route. It's the point where you're going to start your descent. So that's our top of descent there. TD stands for top descent, top of descent. Now see that the plane's automatically started descent down to 2,000 feet, and we are now 39 miles out of the airport. So we'll get our landing lights on and we'll go over to speed intervene so that I can manually set the speed, as that's what I feel comfortable doing. We're going to set the speed for now for 280 knots until we get to about 8,000 feet. I will lower it even more. We'll tell the passengers that we have now begun our descent by going to the PA system and clicking the descent one.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are descending. Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
What I've noticed about this water mod, if I move my camera too much, it disables it. Well, if I move it in a certain way, so it was disabled earlier, but this is the water mod that I have downloaded. It looks a lot better than the default stuff, but it does glitch a little bit, but I definitely recommend it. So like I said, we're now at about 8,000 feet, so I'm going to put speed back to 250 knots. This will most likely be the case until we start to get nearer to the runway. Down there is actually San Diego Airport. Now, I know it looks a bit bland at the moment, but when we're actually on the approach, these buildings will load in properly and you'll be able to see what the approach actually looks like. For now though, you can focus on the airport itself, rather than the surrounding areas, which will eventually load in as we get nearer. That is just genuinely Xplane being Xplane. So like I said, it's actually a very, very short flight, and it's actually taken us shorter than we were scheduled due to us having a crosswind that turned into a tailwind. It should take us about 35 minutes, but we're already approaching the airport, and we've only been going for about 16 minutes now. There you go. You see the surrounding areas, like down there, starting to load in. And there's some more buildings loading in, and you can kind of get a taster of what the approach is like with these buildings and all these buildings on the approach, making it quite a difficult but also just a nice looking approach. When we get to our next waypoint, which there's probably a better way of pronouncing, but for now we're just going to call it Bite Zulu Bravo. We're going to be making a slight left turn, and then we're going to be lining ourselves up. At this point, I don't really fancy going onto the localizer, so I'm just going to take control of the aircraft and manually fly us towards runway 27. Next time we fly in there, I've definitely got to download some scenery. I have got some airport scenery, which is very nice. And to be honest, it looks good enough on default, but maybe just needs a little bit of tweaking around the building areas. And there you have it. That is what I'm talking about. There are the buildings. Yeah. It's quite a difficult one, and especially when you are fully manually controlling the aircraft and, you know, there's a lot to focus on at once. The current weather reports showing about, say, 0 knots of wind, but I don't have any weather add-ons at the moment, so Xplane weather can always be a little bit unpredictable. Right now we're showing an 8-knot tailwind in the sim. Now the plane's going to descend down to 2,700 for the next waypoint. Then as soon as we hit 2,000, if not earlier, I will take manual control of the aircraft. I want to put the speed back even more now to about 230. And when we get 4 miles away from G? I don't know how to pronounce that waypoint. When we get there, about 4 miles away, currently about 8 miles away, I will lower the speed to 220. Then when we get to that waypoint, 180, then when we are about 5 miles out, I will put it to landing speed, which will probably be, let's just look what our landing speed is. So we're going to go to init ref, and we're going to be doing a flaps 40. So, 133 knots, or should we do a flaps 30 at 141? Let's do a flaps. Let's do a flaps 40 at 133 knots. Yes, let's do a flaps 40 at 133 knots. So that'd be a full flap land. Now that we're nearing, we will get the passengers and cabin crew to prepare for landing.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, your large personal devices must be turned off and stowed. You may continue to use your small electronic devices, but they must be unplugged and set to airplane mode and secured. As a reminder, carry-on items should be securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Please be sure your seatbelts are fastened, seat backs and tray tables are upright, and your headrests are lowered. If you need assistance, please ring your call button. We're happy to help. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for arrival and be seated.
And there we go. Now it's starting to focus on my landing. I did miss that 4 mile point, so what I'll do now is I'll put it to 180 and I'll introduce about 2 notches of the flaps. Going to be order brake 1, in fact it's order brake 2, so we can stop nice and quickly. And the plane's now going to attempt to make this quite tight turn to line up with the runway. We should be just about fine though. And we'll now hopefully come in for a good landing.
1,000 to go.
As soon as I can see the runway, I think I'm going to take control. Might as well. Kind of fancy using control. Oh, disconnect the autopilot before we disconnect the throttle as we are not doing ILS, and it's quite nice to have auto throttle on until the last point. So we'll go my airplane as soon as I see the runway. A little bit low as we're going to be too high here. But nope, we just look, there's the airport, and we look just about fine. There we go. So I'm not actually going to take control yet because I didn't realise we were going to come in on this kind of angle. But that's no issue. What I want to do now is I want to go down to 2,000. I don't want to go via any constraints anymore. That should do that as follows.
1,000 to go.
Plane should. Yeah, we'll do this. I want to do quite a violent descent down to 2,000. And we'll get ready for landing. And I'm going to go my airplane now, because I don't really trust this approach man of the autopilot on. Probably should. Get the auto throttle off now, in fact, and we'll go flaps full and drop our speed. Need to line up with the runway a bit better. There's our runway. That's absolutely fine. And this is a cool approach into San Diego. We'll see you in a minute. It'd be a lot better if I had some better scenery, but oh well. I can see the pappy lights. Everything is going to be a-okay. Just a little bit of a dodgy lineup, but nothing we can't handle. Just out my view a bit there.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Yep. Cool. Get a little bit lower there. So you can see without the Xplane weird. There you go. That's a weather update. It's going to do that. Now we're showing completely no wind, which is exactly what it's showing on the METAR. So we are good. Here's where I'm talking about coming lower over the buildings. These buildings here, you come quite ridiculously lower over, I'm not going to lie.
500.
So I forgot to set minimums, I don't really know how to. But we're just going to go continue at 300, just for the sake of it. We need to go a bit lower now, over these buildings.
400.
Always feels like you're going to hit them.
300.
Should be just fine. Ooh. Okay, that was 300, continue. Minimums, continue.
200.
Okay. Getting a little bit too low now, and then there's that pylon that always catches me out. I want to climb over that and then there we go. Okay. That's fine. Awesome.
100. 50. 40.
Idle.
30. 20. 10.
Alrighty, that's not that bad. Reverses. That's how you want to land at an airport like this. A little bit firm, not floaty. Very nice.
80 knots.
And we'll stow him. Go over to manual braking. Hope we'll be able to make this exit here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Diego.
With your seatbelts fastened and all items stowed until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure that you have all of your personal belongings and be careful when opening overhead compartments. You're now free to use your mobile phones and small lightweight devices in transmit mode. If you are connected, please check the United app on your mobile device or to the airport display for up-to-date flight status and gate information. On behalf of United, our airline partners, and your entire flight crew, thank you for flying us so much flight with us today. We hope you had a pleasant experience, and we look forward to serving you again on another United flight.
Alrighty, awesome. I hope you enjoyed those replays. We'll now get our APU started. There we go. There's no need for our packs anymore. I'll get our APU bleed on. I'm just going to park the aircraft over there somewhere. APU should be firing up nicely in a minute. There she goes. It was a decent arrival. I could have finessed it, I could have floated it a little bit more, but I was very focused on the approach and getting the aircraft down to the ground rather than doing it go around or anything like that. Because, you know, San Diego's not, it's not the shortest of runways, but it's definitely not as long as, like, LAX or whatever. I do hope you enjoyed that flight. If you really want to let me know, if you want to see some more of those, let me know in the comments. What aircraft, my fleet is listed. But I'll probably list it in the description. If not, I will reply to any comments if I haven't. Leave a comment if you forget to do it. But this should be in the description. Anyway, I really hope you do enjoy that. We have made the stand. APU power is now on. And that should have gone off a while ago. You didn't see that. Now we'll just turn them off. Bring it into the stand. And ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to San Diego. If you did enjoy this video, please do make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And check out the blog. Check out the vlog. Have a very nice day. Goodbye.